My name is Chris Roberts from Franchise Finance. Franchise Finance is a company that looks after franchisees. We help them with their business plans, we arrange finance, and during the show here we're actually organising the business plan clinic, which is providing help to people who've perhaps not had to actually put a business plan together before. So we're giving them some hints and tips and so on. We help the franchisees to understand what the banks are going to require to enable them to get a yes. The banks like using us. We work closely with all the franchise banks. They like using us because they know that the business plans that we prepare, they actually answer all of the questions that their underwriters want to get an answer to. So the relationships work well. It's quite varied, really. I mean, obviously in the current financial market there are people that have either lost their jobs or have decided to move away and want to start their own business, and there's people that have been working in all sorts of different sectors. One particular area is a lot of people in the food industry are looking to set up different types of retail outlets and so on, but it's been quite mixed. How much money am I likely to borrow? How much do I have to put in towards buying the franchise? So we're explaining that probably the most that a franchisee can borrow is around about the 70% mark. That's if it's a franchise that's been tried and tested in the UK market for a while. Otherwise, perhaps it's a 50-50 sort of scenario where if the borrowing was 50,000, then they have to put 25,000 in. The other thing we're explaining to people is it's not only the cost of buying the franchise, but you will need some working capital as well. So they'll need that for the first few months before the turnover, before the sales start to accumulate. I would say make sure you make your mistakes on paper. In other words, by using the business plan in the first instance as a viability study, what you need to do is do a personal income and expenditure statement. So in other words, be very clear as a family how much money you need to live, all your housekeeping bills and your mortgage and your rates and your insurance, all those sorts of things, and understand how much money you're going to need on a monthly basis from your new franchise business. Once you've got to that stage, then you compile a cash flow and a profit projection and so on, and make sure there's enough margin at the end, not only to be able to pay the wages of your staff, but to give you a living and also to afford any repayments to the bank on any funding that you might have.